What's up, Zox fam? So we're coming to the tail end of my first full day on Marvel Mystic Mayhem. And I gotta say, man, this game is absolutely insane. And for a lot of you guys that are on the channel, we're playing Silver and Blood. And I feel like if you like Silver and Blood, you're also going to like this game. And the cool thing is that obviously if you're a Marvel fan, this makes this game even better, I guess, in that regard. So I feel like for what it's worth, I want to just jump into my entire experience so far, what we've been able to accomplish, some things I definitely would advise you guys as you're pushing, jumping in, starting, etc. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. And I want to start with what we got, right? Because I think that the character designs in the game, that's something that really like drives the major focal point of appeal, I would say. And they really dive more into like the comic book kind of feel, which is kind of cool. So we got Storm, we got Juggernaut. Again, these are just some of the ones that we're able to pull from the gacha. You do get characters like Storm for free. And even just starting out, I know somebody's going to ask like, you know, Zox, who should I maybe start out with? I mean, to be honest with you, there's a lot of value in some of the starting characters, or especially the higher rarity ones, which they're not 3 stars. Like Storm is extremely good. You do get her for free. So I know some people will probably say, you probably don't want her necessarily, but I will also argue against that just in terms of shards, just being able to further invest and fully invest in that character much quicker. I think like for me personally, I'm not mad at it. So she's really, really cool. Of course, Juggernaut is like really, really busted. This dude like basically gets to just kind of do whatever he wants, but then he like when he has investment in him, starts becoming like a really insane support. So there's a lot of value in like characters like him as well. You have Doctor Strange, Emma Frost, who's really, really good. Thor, Iron Man that's currently on rate up right now is actually really solid. So there's a lot of units that you can actually get in this game from the higher rarities that are really, really good. Now, the other thing I want to actually kind of throw in there, though, is the fact that lower rarities can be pretty insane for helping carry you as well. So like, for example, we've been using Hulk. They do give you a lot of resources to actually invest into some of these characters. And even when you start looking at like the dupe system and investing in the dupes in these characters, Hulk ends up being a really, really insane character that they give you things to basically put into, right? So that's a character that they give a lot of TLC to, as well as Sleepwalker, right? Sleepwalker is a character that they also have you start out with. Dude can buff for damage. I mean, can heal, and then also can do damage. So really, really solid unit. And I would argue it can be a solo carry for just sustain, generally speaking. So that's definitely something that I've really been enjoying with Sleepwalker, is how much emphasis and value that this character can bring to my account from it being a lower rarity. They do give you characters like Psylocke, who's absolutely insane in single target damage. So there's like some characters that they absolutely pour onto your account. Lady Bullseye you also can get for free. That just gives you immense value. I mean, you got Echo, who you also get for free. You get Doppelganger that you get for free. There's like so many different units that you can get for free in this game. And they all can do crazy stuff depending on who they're paired up with. So that's like one of the like best appeals of the game, is that you can kind of find something that you like and just kind of play into that, and just making sure you have things that synergize with it. Now, of course, with that, it is also important to note, like, you have, you know, attributes and damage types that you have to also consider. So that's a really big deal too. Now, of course, with that, we got to jump into some gameplay, because I know that that's like the biggest thing. Like, Zox, how does gameplay, right? So we're going to go over to momentum here. Or actually, let's go into a storyline. Let's go into a story, because I got to do another, do another stage anyway. And why not do the current story stage that I'm on? So yeah, they absolutely cooked. I feel like for what it's worth, for this first full day, it's technically day 2, but when the reset happened, it was like the game launched and then it like reset pretty quick. So I was like, dang, dude, like I didn't think we were gonna reset that quick. But let's see, we only got one character we can throw into here. So usually when I have to throw in one character, I usually just go Hulk. Hulk is just like really, really good, being able to self-sustain himself. All right, so we're going against this competitor. We got to kill this ad before they do. All right, let's go ahead and do this. I'm probably helping him now. Nice, thank you. Boom, that's 1 point for me. 2 points for me. All right, there we go. So as you can see, this is kind of like the gameplay here. This stage doesn't have too much strategy, other than the fact I'm trying to stop this guy from freaking getting points. Boom. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I think I got all the points. So I just clapped that. So it's very, very straightforward. Like you have different timing windows, different abilities with each character. Like with Hulk, he can like attack, break. He has the ability to like lift air, or like, you know, kind of like airborne characters, so that it gives you like kind of like stagger windows basically. Now he can't do that to every character, but he can do that to a good chunk. So we'll do another stage so you guys can kind of see some of the other units here. And here it looks like we're actually competing again. What we're going to do, we're going to buff our Juggernaut here. Get that damage reduction. Go to shield. And it actually buffs his... Ooh, okay. Hold on. I think we can clean here. Boom. We stole all of those. +4. That was crazy. So yeah, Storm goes in. And every character has an ultimate as well. Now, I'm not going to lie. Like, Storm is pretty insane because she just literally hits everything on the field. Juggernaut has a like massive dash. He got 1 point off of that. Let's see. Let's go for a damage buff on Storm. Thank you. And we should be able to finish this guy. All right, and then Storm. Nice. All right, there we go. Let's see. I think we kill that. Almost. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna go for. We don't need to heal, but let's buff, and then we can debuff here. I think we at least get one of those. We gotta actually prevent him from getting those. Nice. There's a slam down. So yeah, we got 7. All right, cool, bro. This is actually kind of like. This is actually kind of funny. They like really. They really are like making me compete against this Moon Knight right now. Ooh, he's actually doing really good damage too. Get ready to rumble. I warn ya. All right, he should slam in a second. Nice. Okay, he was in the mid slam, and then we can come over here, dash. Boom, double kill. All right, we got 11. I think the goal is to get to 15. Ooh, I think we finish here. Nice. And we get those last 2. I think that's GG. There we go. All right, yeah. So you can kind of see like some of the strategy there. Timing, placement is really important. Now, it's kind of cool with how they have this game set up. Like, they will allow you to whiff moves, which is kind of messed up, but it does happen quite often. And the story, like I said, is actually like pretty well written with the how, you know, with kind of how they went with like the comic book style. So it's something that I like actually think is like really, really cool. Now we're actually getting our first copy of Moon Knight here. So the other thing is too, like I said, this game is not afraid with giving you units to be able to progress and play the game with. Now, Moon Knight is actually going to be a unit we're for sure going to build because he actually is combination damage dealer and healer. So that's actually going to be pretty massive for our progression. Now, to talk about some of the rewards that you actually get along the way as well. Like, for example, every time you level in this game, you basically get account rewards, right? Now, this will happen all the way up until the point of you needing to do a challenge stage, which is going to be called a trial. Now the trial, like for example, I think my next one, my trial of Vishanti 2 is going to be at level 30 or after level 30. So I'll have another trial there, and it's a pretty hard fight. But really what it's doing is just kind of like gear checking you, checking your units values, like if they're actually built up with the right card, did you level them, etc. Right? So those are the things that those are typically checking, right? So very, very cool with like some of the things that they have for resources, like logging in 7-day, you know, adventure. Like we're on day 2 technically, because of like the window that they had to reset. But it's very, very straightforward. You get a ton of EXP, you get a ton of mats to actually build stuff up on your account. And then moving forward, you're able to, like I said, at the end of day 7, you're able to get a copy of Storm. So they like give out a ton of stuff. Now, even for spenders, there's like other things that you can also get as well. Like you can get extra shards for characters, but they at least make sure that like you get the first copy of a character for the most part for free, which is kind of insane, right? So you get a lot of these characters for free, or there's like different like bundles or things like that that you can buy. So it's pretty cool. Now, of course, with that, I want to talk about the gacha a little bit, okay? So right now they have Iron Man on the on his own banner right now. He's on Rate Up. Now, this is called the Forge the Future banner. It's going to be up for the next 14 days. Now, there is going to be its own currency. They do pulls in like groups or clumps of 5. So you basically can, you know, pull like 5 at a time, essentially. Now, the thing that I think is actually like pretty cool, how they at least initially set the banners up, is that at your first, I think 40 pulls, I think it was 40 or 50 pulls, it might be 40, you're able to basically get a random ticket that will give you a 3-star unit. So for me, I got lucky and I ended up getting Juggernaut. So that's who I ended up getting, but you can pull any of the characters. If you go to the details here, you can pull any of the characters that are in the game that are 3 stars or any of the 2 stars. And they have a 2% probability, which is pretty much standard, right? So I know I usually like to talk about gacha rates. So yeah, it's pretty much standard, right? Now I'll show you guys what a single looks like, just so you guys can see it. Right, so this is the gacha animation. Now, if it opens up and turns gold, it like rips the band-aid off. You know you got something good. Other than that, then you get cards or you get characters, right? Now, to kind of explain that a little bit more, when we go over to the details, what you have, they're called highlights. So they're not really cards, but they look like cards, right? So you have obviously your character, and they can equip something called highlights, okay? Now, these are something that ends up like being able to give you additional stats and a skill, right? And then they have awakening skills. So, awakening stages to the skill, which will allow you to be able to bring those values up. So it's actually something that ends up being able to power up your units quite a bit. And this is what I mean by like when you get to those Vishanti trials, this is some of the stuff that you have to bring up, because this is going to be a part of that gear check, I guess, right? You have talents as well on characters, which talents are going to further and allow you to invest in like not only the skills, but a passive tree on the character as well. And the more that you bring this up, obviously, the more that you'll be able to get damage or health or whatever it is that that character has. And then another thing that they did that I kind of like is the dupe system. It's called the Soul Saga. And for those shards that you get for the character, it allows you to be able to invest into one of the like 3 components, which is the heart, the mind, and then the soul. And so with that, you basically can get things like HP increases, rage, damage increases. You can get shield increases. Like this is a whole bunch of things that are unique to the character that you can get. So like Juggernaut has some pretty insane ones. But even for the lower rarities, like I said before, they give you stuff for free for characters like Hulk and stuff like that. So you end up getting like some like crazy value even on characters like this, right? Like I already got his very first one, which instantly gives him 150 ultimate energy for the first time when his HP drops below 30% in each battle. So that ends up being super, super insane for me to be able to spam his ult, which is ult restores HP. So I'm able to continue to fight and fight a little bit longer. So that ends up being like a pretty big deal there. Now, of course, as far as other game modes or things for you to do, they have the Momentum, they have Nightfall, Crimson Campaign, which you can kind of think of this as like a kind of like boss mode, right? And we're just about being able to do it. Now, they do have like a shop as well that you can collect currency for weekly. So you're going to be doing all of this stuff, including all the stuff here at the bottom, like the Battle Bonanza. Is that Bonanza? Yeah, it's Bonanza, I guess. Yeah. Treasure Hunt, Rune Raid, and the Fable Findings, which we'll get at level 25, so we just got to wait a little bit longer. But these are like daily routine things, so things that you know, you can use for like EXP for your characters. You get like the training mats. You have like the rune raid, which is going to allow you to get runes to be able to like level up your skills, ascend your characters, etc. The Momentum is kind of like a roguelike mode. It's like a kind of like a like giant map or panel where you kind of like travel amongst like different shards, and you kind of try to do that in a way to where, like, if we go back here, you try to do it in a way to where you can get the 3 stars. So there's like different challenges per one. And then as you get those stars, they also reward you with like shards for some of the free characters that they give you. And as well as obviously the keys here. So the shadow key, which is going to allow you to be able to pull in the gacha. So everything is like pretty straightforward with how this game is set up. They do have a battle pass as well. Again, this is going to be something that I would say is really going to be in high interest for those that are looking to spend money. But other than that, they really do a really, really solid job with this game. So I'm pretty hyped. I'm probably going to have some more videos just talking about some of the other things that this game has to offer. Like, for example, here you can see we can get some more keys, which we're definitely going to be buying the monthly great keys. But you can also stack up on some of these ores so that you can actually invest and build up more of your stuff quicker. So that actually might be the wave as well, depending on like where we're at and how we're doing. But yeah, we're going to have some more videos coming. I just wanted to kind of give you guys that were like kind of interested in whether or not you should play this game. I absolutely think that this game is worth a try. They have alliances, they have friends that you can add. So there's definitely going to be more content, I think, that a lot of players are not going to want to miss out on. And with a lot of the events that they have starting out, you get a ton of freebie stuff that I definitely think that is going to be really, really nice for just getting you started. The other thing is, too, is they have a 30-day time reversal. So this is something that I think is actually pretty massive when you're launching a brand new game, is allowing people to be able to reset heroes and highlights. And you can do that throughout the entire event. And this will allow you to be able to say, well, I don't really like this character. I want to take those mats and I want to dump them into another character. So definitely taking advantage of that is going to be pretty massive for you to get the most out of the game. And so, yeah, that's going to be that, guys. I mean, there's so much more to get into. We are going to be live streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Zoxaskun. I think that this game paired up with Silver and Blood for this channel is like absolutely perfect. So let me know how you guys are enjoying those games. If you are from Silver and Blood, let me know in the comment section down below. Or you're just watching from Marvel Mystic Mayhem for the first time, definitely make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing night. I'm going to go get some rest. I'll catch you guys in the next one.